The two officers-involved shootings last week have raised questions about how officers handle that experience. News Channel 15's Kaitor Pessoa sat down with an FWPD officer who experienced it firsthand. Kaitor?
Sargent Bradley Schulz has been in 2 officer-involved shootings. The first time he killed a man. Schulz says it's not something he chose to do, but something he was forced to do to protect himself. FWPD Sargent Bradley Schulz will never forget when he had to kill a man on the job. The year was 1998. He found himself at the scene of an armed robbery at a Fort Wayne record store.
As it transpired, I confronted the subject as they came out, identified myself, yelled for him to stop. He didn't, pointed a firearm at me. Unfortunately, I had to engage lethal force, and the subject, unfortunately, was deceased due to the injuries, the gunshots.
He says afterwards, many people asked him if he was hurt.
It's not just physical survival, there's also the psychological and mental side of that.
Thankfully, Schulz had a strong support system. He says his wife and fellow officers pulled him through. He wasn't sure how society was going to view him.
No one knows how other people are going to view them after the fact.
He was also concerned about how people at his church would feel about him.
I took a human life. How am I going to be viewed any differently? So I did meet with my pastor later in the week, and he assured me that, you know, God put people in authority for law and to protect others, and that everything was completely fine with what I did.
He hopes he never has to go through this experience again.
If I do, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to come home to my family and protect myself, my co-workers, those people, the citizens of Fort Wayne.
Schulz says the second time he was in an officer-involved shooting, he and fellow officers exchanged gunfire with a runaway suspect who pointed a gun at them. He's thankful the suspect survived. In studio, Kaitor Pessoa, News Channel 15.